in front of me, looking fresh as always. Whenever it's an interview between me and Promise, forget anything business, forget anything serious, because we're just basically going to have a good conversation. It's good to have you here, my brother. Good to have you back home.
Yeah.
The Mr. Tourism. I think that should be for this period. You've toured almost everywhere this season. It's really crazy to think about the places you've been in a year.
Yeah.
Don't you get tired sometimes?
Oh, I do get tired.
You do get tired.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of the year, do you guys plan out all these places you have to be, or it comes up as and when?
No, we actually do have a rough plan as to what we want to do.
And so you knew around last year December that you're going to do all the trips
Yeah, I mean, some were not set in stone, fully confirmed, but we knew it was going to happen. And obviously along the line things spring up that wasn't planned, but most of the time we have a fair picture, a fair idea of what we want to do for the year.
Do you get homesick sometimes?
100%. And the food, I just want chop.
I just want chop. Get to.
When I travel, I find Ghana food chop, but it never tastes like the one way you get from home.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So there's that, and it's just the freedom of just staying in my house.
Yeah, and not having to, move, no weather stress, nothing.
I mean, I love my job, so for that, I won't trade it for nothing. But sometimes just one day I just want to relax, just want to sleep. Just
be you.
Back to back. The next flight every day. But I mean, this is what we prayed for.
This is what we chose. Yeah. This is life we chose. Do you have a favorite meal? A favorite Ghanaian meal?
I like the heavy stuff, bro. I'm a gun boy. I like my banku. I like my comic stuff. You know what I mean? But I love jollof and wache. It's
would you get to a point where you would want to start traveling with your own chef?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
In the pipeline.
100%. We pray. We're gonna fly our own chef, your own baba, your own.
I'm not getting the. Wait. You say you fly a who?
Your own chef. Fly your own baba as well.
And your own what?
Baba.
Are you serious, brother?
Bro, I cut my hair every 3 days.
You and I don't need a barber for days, man.
I actually do. My hair kind of grows real fast. So every 3 days, I cut my hair.
Yeah, but you need to keep the promised hairstyle. So, how much do you pay regularly for a haircut?
We are not doing that.
We're not doing that. Oh, that's just by the way. So let's talk about music. You decided to release a deluxe version of your album.
Yeah.
It had 4 songs on there.
Yeah.
There's one that's currently doing numbers in the UK. I was reading about it yesterday. I think it's number 18, Afrobeat chart. With Tom Walker.
Yeah, I tried to.
I first and foremost, I'm very heavy on knowing how things happen. How did that collabo come about? It was one of the weirdest collabos. If you had told me to,
you didn't expect it.
Yeah, that's the right word. How did it come about?
A lot of people didn't.
And how was it like working with him?
Very smooth. He was very, very excited about the opportunity to jump on a record. He likes the record and just excited about the whole Afrobeat, African music, and what we are doing. So it was great. It was put forward to me by my team at Sony, and I was like, why not? It makes sense,
It's heavy.
He's more of that type of artist who brings stories to life. And what I'm speaking about is some real stuff. So, I couldn't even be angry when I heard the verse. I'm like, what? Okay, 100%. We made the right choice.
Crazy, man.
And obviously it's a different crowd. It's just opening you up to a different type of listenership, and just expanded. So it was definitely something I look forward to doing. I'm glad we did it.
Great. How does the deluxe version of the album reflect on your growth as an artist? I mean, obviously I know you personally, and I think I qualify as one of the few who can sit and say you've grown. When I say grown because from our White Campus Express days, uni days till now, the brand is no longer what it used to be. But this particular selection of songs you put on the deluxe version, what does it speak when it comes to growth to you as a brand, aside the big collaboration you had on there?
It just shows how far the journey has taken us, and what we have done for Ghanaian music in general is having songs off the actual album that top charts globally, and having more than 5 hit songs on one album is unheard of, was unspoken of lately. It's you have 1 hit, 2, that's all you need for an album, but then I went all out. So to even add more to the same album and drop a deluxe just goes to show you know, how much this means to us and how serious we take our position as the leaders of the new school and taking Ghana music across the waters of Ghana. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man. For my growth personally, I'm just speaking my mind. I'm just speaking my truth. I'm just growing as an artist, as a brother, as a friend, as a son, and, you know, as an ambassador of my people to the world. So,
and are you enjoying this process?
100%.
Is it bringing in a lot of cash?
Yeah, God is good. Absolutely, like we're blessed to do this. I mean, it takes a lot of cash to run this. You know, at the pace and at the level that
you're doing
it. It's, you know, we joke money, they take the do. Do you know what I mean? So for that, you know, you just have to really work hard.
I know no one has asked you this question before, but what does it take to make a hit song?
For me, I don't think there's a recipe. If I said I had like a recipe to making hit songs, I'd be like, maybe I am the recipe, I guess. But I just make music that I love, honestly. That's my whole secret. Like, I love making music. I don't take myself way too serious. You know, I feel like the magic is in the raw nature and the, you know, organic nature in which, like, you put out your thoughts on a record, which is what I do. You know, I just go in the studio, whatever I feel like making is what I make. I don't go like, today I have to make a hit. Nah, I'm never putting that pressure on myself. I go in there and I sing my truth and I, you know, have fun with it and, you know, hope the whole world loves and dances to it. And, you know, by the grace of God, I guess that's my.
Have you had? So I'm going to add the two sides of it. Have you ever had a record written that, you know, a record recorded that, you know, you didn't really see? And I mean, we're human, so you didn't really see it going that far, and it did the numbers. And have you had one that you really felt, yo, this one, they really need to vibe to it, and it did the numbers and really didn't get to where you wanted it to get to? Have you had any with these two instances?
No, not necessarily. Obviously, like I said, for me, I make the music that I love. The fans choose the hits, you know. Yeah. I believe the fans actually choose the hits, but I know good music, and not just me. I have a very able team of, you know, experts who have done this for a while. So before we even put a record out, like, we've thought through it. So, like, as much as there's no expectations, there are expectations, and most of the time, like, the records do what they have to do. You know what I mean? Sometimes way more than they have to do, because we've dropped like hits from 2017 till we're in 2025, and they keep, you know, springing up. Not every song will be everybody's favorite. You know, you might have maybe on the album I have this favorite, that's my favorite, but the others that might not be your favorite might be someone else's favorite, you know. But everyone's story is different, so for that, like, the expectations are always like, you know, there's music for everybody. You know?
Great. One of the places you toured this year took me by surprise personally. You had a show booked in Bali. Right? Was it Bali?
Yeah.
Was Bali, and I think you went further.
I did Singapore.
You did Singapore.
Bali, Jakarta. That was like the first leg of the Asia run. And then after I went back, I did some places in the Middle East and back to Asia. So I did Bahrain, Dubai. I did Japan. I did Kuala Lumpur, then I went to Australia.
These are places you see on CNN. You know, when you're watching news, you see Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta, and the rest.
Yeah, I did Jakarta.
You did Jakarta as well. Now, I want to ask, okay, is this your decision to go Asia? Was it informed by, you know, research findings from your team on where your music is doing good, or you just had the bookings coming in from there? How do you even feel?
Literally, we saw
a market,
like an upward shift in you know, listenership with regards to like where the listenership was coming from. We could tell clearly it was like from that side of Asia. I'm like, huh? What's going on? You know, it's like something is happening over here, so we pay attention to it, and eventually we put two and two together, worked on a few things, and then, you know, bookings just started coming. You know what I mean? But if you go to like Indonesia and, you know, all that side of the world, like, music is super huge. You know, you think maybe it's Terminator, but you go and you realize Paris is even bigger. Then you realize Perfect Combi is like big. Then you realize I'm like, oh wow, do you know what I mean? So it's just the power of the music. You know what I mean? It'll take one song for people to get acquainted to your sound, but if there's good stuff, they can stay and they want more. And also if you push in those areas. So obviously my team and I have been pushing in those areas when we realized that, you know, there's like virality with some of the records out there. And it's bigger than one song, it's bigger than a couple songs. It's actually like true fans, you know, true following. And you think it will be championed by just Africans, you know, not even necessarily Ghanaians, Africans in general, but it's people who are not from here. Do you know what I mean? And it's so funny. Even on tour, I have a very mixed crowd. You know, it's not really just
people from
Africa or Ghana. It's a very mixed crowd who actually like, and it just goes to show how far our music has traveled and how we've unlocked, you know, those channels and on tick boxes that, you know, will mainly be like a local type of, you know, listenership. So
nice.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah. And it's really opening my mind on a lot of things, you know. You mentioned the fact that the audience is mixed. It's not a specific type of, you know, crowd.
Yeah, like before
races.
When you're going to, like, even when I started.
Yeah.
2018 when I was like in, Europe or America for the first time. Predominantly the people who came to my show were Ghanaians, you know. Okay. But I always had the goal for global domination, where it wasn't just music for my people back home. So for that fact, I tweaked my sound, you know, I built it, I grew it, and by the next time I was on tour, you could tell the difference because I had already gone like number one in like Amsterdam, here and there. So I'm like, okay, now it's not just going number one in Ghana. Okay, now we're on the radio. You land at Schiphol and that's what you hear, you know. And then obviously fast forward even to this year or last year, we have songs like on the Afrobeat charts, you know, globally in the UK, whatever, just top 5, this, that. So you could tell like there was always like that intention of taking the music beyond our borders and not just appealing to our audiences from just home, you know, but it's way bigger than that. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to listen to Beyonce and you're in Ghana, why shouldn't Beyonce listen to Kim Promise when she's in America? Like, it should be able to go both ways. We are all from different cultures, so if we can accept theirs, why not accept ours as well? Do you know what I mean? It's
impressive.
Just a mindset.
Yeah, impressive, man. I pick a few things from this, being intentional. You mentioned the part that I really love, the fact that you observed the kind of audience you were having and you wanted to take it global, and so you had to tweak the sound. Now that's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
How do you tweak a sound? How did you do it? What did you have to change? The elements. Because we're constantly having conversations on the national scale on how to send music outside. We're exporting cocoa, we're exporting all that, but then when it comes to music, it's almost as if the hits always stay here. Some do branch out, but to cross borders to the point where you can actually start getting people booking you from Jakarta and Kuala Lumpur, it means you need to be doing something global. How did Kim Promise do it? What did you have to change? It doesn't mean you're spilling your secret, but then
I mean, I don't mind to share. I'm not gonna gatekeep. You know, I'm not one of those like. I'm here to make sure that if I walk through a door, I'm not shutting, but I'm opening for like every other person who's coming through to also to be able to go through it and even open bigger ones. You know what I mean? But for me, it's mainly with the sound. Like you always hear my Ghanaian elements in there. You will tell that I'm a Ghana boy. You know, with my tree, with my Ga, with my pigeon. But also sound-wise, that's the thing. Afrobeat has created a thing where we inculcate our local sound with a global kind of like sound as well, where it's more appealing to someone who might not necessarily understand your language, but you know, might feel the rhythm, might feel the vibe. Do you understand what I mean? So for me, I take advantage of that, where you know, I'm making music where I need to find a balance between pleasing my people from home and the rest of the world. Sometimes I might even drop 2 records. Like I dropped Perfect Combi and I dropped Nana. Nana kind of like was more for like my listenership, my core audience, and then Perfect Combi is like for, you know, the rest of the world and the, you know,
the super urban listeners.
Exactly. And you know, they both done their thing. And I started that experiment with Bra and Commando, because I dropped Bra and Commando at the same time, literally, and Bra became very huge in Ghana, you know, to even not just Ghana, but literally to the local diaspora audience as well. But Commando was my most streamed song of all time. and it wasn't from Ghana. You know, it went number one on radio in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like you could tell the difference, and me just finding that balance was very important to where, you know, I just kept pushing, you know what I mean? And I'm not the first person to do it. You know, R2B's done it. Even, you know, from just our close neighbors. Wiz done it, Bernard done it, David's done it, you know, until recently, like Rema, Thames, everyone. So I'm like, why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very, very doable. And I always set my sights on that challenge of making sure that I'm serving our people to the rest of the world and not just home. Yeah.
Lovely. Do you have a favorite spot out of the places you toured this year? Global scale.
I love Japan.
You love Japan.
Yeah,
What
I
about them?
I love Tokyo. Everyone's just very like reserved, respectful. I love the food. I love ramen. I try food. I'm very weird. Like my friends, like if you go somewhere at Kill Beats, no one tries some kind.
Nah,
like,
I'm like that too.
No try.
I'm staying in my corner.
I'm very like I like to try stuff. Yeah, I'm like, why not? That's really just who I am. I'm like the why not kind of guy. So I love the food and fashion. Like it's like the fashion central of the world. You know, forget Fashion Week in Paris. Like Japan is where like Kanye was there when I was there. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how huge it was. You understand? And you know, it's the best place to go. You know, street fashion shopping. You know. Thrifting and all that, and I like that. You know, just being able to walk down the streets, pick up clothes, and you know, just have a good time, have some food. Just the culture is different, but they don't take themselves way too serious, and everyone's just respectful. I just love it.
Did you see a huge Ghanaian community there? How are they like? I haven't been there before.
So my show, like I said, I have a very mixed crowd.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of Africans on my shows,
but you can't tell which ones.
Yeah, but it was a very. I mean, it was sold out. It was very nice, you know, mixed you know, audience that I really was proud of. But there was a lot of Ghanaians as well.
Do they butcher your lyrics?
No, they know the
The
songs.
local ones, they know it well for.
Yeah, they know.
Impressive.
Yeah, 100%. Myself, I was shocked because I'm like, you know, because I'd never been there.
Yeah.
Like, let's see what Japan has. Like, I'm usually very curious.
Bro, it's Japan.
I knew like
Japan. Like Japan,
I knew. I
man.
knew it was sold out before the night.
Okay.
So I was calm, but I'm like, what? I didn't know what to expect. And then you get on and it's crazy fandom, you know, from, you know, word to word to after party to everything is just a madness.
We're just there, crazy about you. One thing I know or have noticed about you is the way you put out the songs you put out. For a while now, it's been a culture here where before a song comes out, there should be like a dance routine to it. You basically collaborate with, you know, dancers to make sure it goes out. These dancers also have like wide, you know, a wide, you know, following. Some spread into the Asians and the rest. Do you think these things you intentionally did would also contribute to the number of, you know, listeners you're getting around the world, especially on the Asia side?
No, I mean 100%. You know what I mean? When Terminator started going off in Asia or even Paris, it was from. There were dancers from out there who were going crazy with it, who I'd never met. You know what I mean? So it's like, at the end of the day, the app called TikTok is an app where music can go crazy. You never know. It could be because of the dance, but like I feel like for Terminator, it was mainly not just like the lyrics, but the dance done a thing as well. And you know, shouts to Dance God and you know the crew and every dancer in Ghana who like jumped on it. And I think it was the first song I even tried like doing anything like, you know what I mean? I still have fun with it, you know. I actually love dancing. It's always been a thing for me. And I just decided to dance a bit more, just have fun on the stage and just add a little, you know, swag to the craft. And yeah, man, big shouts to the dancers. Not even just the dancers. Like recently, I just done a collab with a footballer, you know, from a footballer. She's the lady. Yeah, Frida from London.
Yeah. I'm told she's Ghanaian.
She is.
Lovely.
She understands. So it was like, with art and sports and, you know, dance and everything, it's really just how you put it together. And we just done a nice collab and it's just going crazy.
You know, you had said previously on the, I don't know if it was you, but were you the one that mentioned that if you hadn't done music, you would have gone into football?
Yeah.
You said that, right?
Yeah, it was one of mine.
I was impressed when I
That
watched
was
the
one of my
video
goals.
with Frida. I think
bro, that was calm, bro.
You sucked at the first try though, but the second one, the third one, you did good with it.
They're all calm, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm better than that. I'm way better than
That's
that.
lovely.
But nah,
That's
it
lovely.
was good. So yeah, there are some songs that you just feel like, this record, like it would be nice to have a dance with. And
Yeah.
there's some that you just don't need a dance for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So really and truly, it's just how I feel. And I have a bunch of amazing friends who dance. Like I said, Dance Gold and the whole gang. They're very supportive as well, and that opens up a lot as well.
Nice. Sounds good. I love where the conversation is going. I'm really enjoying it, I must say. 02022222073 will get you via WhatsApp. Kindly join us, be a part of what we're doing on here. Let's have a good time. Bro, let's talk about this year's event, because time is not really on our side. Let's talk about Promised Land, okay?
Yes, sir.
For 2 years, I've gathered comments on the ups and the downs. So people love it. They love the fact that they get to see you. But it's almost always an issue with the timing. Promise won't show up until after, was it 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. the last one? After 1 a.m. Is it intentional? Do you always want us to like long for you? Do you send people to the audience to ensure that we're missing you before you come out, or what? Is it intentional? Are you changing this year? What is the cause behind it? I mean, put aside the, you wanting to have us want you, but why do you decide to keep people who pay to come and see you, people who love you? Why do you decide to keep them waiting before you pull up?
Honestly, I really wish that wasn't the case.
Okay.
It's not.
Okay.
I don't think I intentionally just keep people waiting. If you were in my shoes as an artist, at the back, just waiting to go on, and you can't go on, you'd understand. You'd lose your mind. And I'll be behind the stage going crazy, like, yo, what's happening? But it's always like, with events back home is actually a madness, just putting it together and trying to make sure things work properly so you can give them the best show, that they deserve. Because that's what I always want. Listen, last year we had the setup already done, hours before, I knew it was perfect. And just before you go on, there's a madness that goes on, you don't know where it came from. You understand? And you try everything to solve it. It's just so many things in the background that people don't see, which is why even this year I told them, you know what, because I've started setup, like I'm setting up 3 days prior to the show.
Okay.
You understand what I mean? That's what I told them, bro. We're doing it, we're trying again, just to make sure we don't go through that again, because last year it was crazy. It's just crazy that I have the best fans in the world who stayed regardless, everything that was happening. And as much as I was losing my head, I tried to keep my calm and make sure I go on the stage. And my team are like, how did you switch from what was going on in the backstage to getting on the stage and acting like nothing had happened, And it just takes a little mental fortitude just to make sure that I give you guys the best show. So it's not intentional.
Yeah.
I don't plan on keeping you guys waiting this year. It's never been the plan.
What time are you showing out?
It's never been the plan anyways. So whatever time that we put out that I'm going to be on the stage is the time I'm going to show up. Yeah.
I'm still going to stay on it. I've heard your part. It's fair. It's reasonable. You love the people. You love the fans, and you love what you do as well. So you would love to even perform. Do you think we should increase our level of competence when it comes to? Because I know you don't work alone. It's a team. It's a team effort. There's a manager, there's a road manager, there's a tech team. But if we see things go wrong, like maybe the first year was sound, next year was electricity, the next year maybe it was lighting, don't we have to let them go and maybe put different people on? Don't we? Do you guys do that?
Yeah, it's not. It's
internally. Do you
100%, bro. Like we always try to up the levels. Where Promised Land started from 5 years ago is not where it is right now. Like when you see from just production quality, sound, stage, lighting, it's always up in the levels. You understand what I mean? We don't try to like do the same thing over and over. We try to actually give a show that is worth people's money and it's of the best standards. Not even just Ghanaian standards, but globally. Because I told the world, but like I really do this. So for me, when I come back home, the last show of the year, that I really want to like end the year on a crazy note. I don't think you think I'll take it for granted. Do you know what I mean? So I work with some of the best, if not the best, from Ghana and across the world. We actually fly people in just to work on these shows and make sure they go really well. So, listen, for example, like what happened last year was beyond anybody. I'm not even gonna blame nobody on the team because to them we had set up, everything was good to go, and then but that was what happened. And I don't want to sit on radio and go into it. You understand? It's something that we dealt with. Apologized for, and then we've worked on, and we ended up giving the best show we've ever given. Like Promised Land last year was the best one we ever had. Do you understand? With regardless all the setbacks, we managed by the grace of God to go through it and smash it. And that's like the very most important thing for me, that the fans actually went through that with me, and I give them the time of my life as well. Right. So this year, bigger and better, crazier vibes. It's exciting. I never announced who I'm bringing. We're keeping it the same way, but
so you're gonna do the same this year? You won't tell us?
No, I don't tell. Sometimes I do on the last day. I give it, just a little. But I think we've had such a good year, and I just want to celebrate True to Self and what it's done for Ghanaian music, what it's done for Afro beats, like African music in general. We're gonna have like the best time.
But we're obviously gonna see your friends in there. I mean, the ones who have rode through.
5 Star knows everyone. So.
5 Star brings the guys around.
Yeah.
I think I'm calm with the answer and assurance you've given us. This year's Promised Land will be different. Technically you're working towards making sure that technically no technicalities go wrong, because the artist himself is always available and ready to move beyond that. So we'll hold on to that. The date once again is
December 30th,
and the venue is
Good Park
at the Accra Mall. That's the place to be. Come through and jam with man like Kim Promise. One other thing I wanted to talk about, okay? I think 2 other things and then we're done. I beg you. I know you have to go. So when things like Stop Galamsey and the rest popped up, we had a lot of creatives, a lot of influential people adding their voices to it. To you as a personality and as someone who has his own sort of understanding on things that happen, do you lend your voice to these things because it's expected of you as an influential person, or you really have to be passionate about it before you speak about it? To you,
I'm very true to myself. I'm not gonna, it's not like I follow the bandwagon, but anything that makes sense, I lend my voice to. And even if most of the time, sometimes it's not even public, but you never know what I'm doing in the back.
The scenes.
Exactly. I'm just that guy who just focuses on the job and gets it done. Understand what I mean? So, obviously, we've been going through a lot as Ghanaians, and whichever way I could help, I did help. You know what I mean? If it's not even as loud as some people would have wished. Why do I do this, bro? I do this, what I do, to bring happiness to people, to bring joy in their lives. So if anything, I make sure that whichever way I can lend my voice, whether loudly or not loudly, I do.
But you will not be the type that will be coerced to lend your voice in the public eye just because your fans are expecting you to do it. You would want it to make sense. You want it to be something you can relate to before you can.
100%. 100%. Because at the end of the day, if there's one thing that I learned from my big brothers who have taught me a lot. Words are very powerful.
Very. And
wherever you lend your voice to, you have to be able to make sure you're going all the way out for it. It's either that or don't do it at all. So for me, I try to stay out of the news for other stuff than music, which has always been my forte. But if something don't make sense, it don't make sense. If something makes sense, it makes sense. So I'll definitely lend my voice to what actually is for the people, by the people. You understand?
All right. One other thing I want to ask. I mean, we're in a new space. In about a month or less, there's going to be a new government. As a creative in this business who has, been around for a while, what are some of the things you expect, from the new government, coming in, the new dawn? What are some of the things you'd love to see? Improvements, things you'd like to be built upon? I just want to know from you.
I just want a comfortable life for every Ghanaian, bro. You know what I mean? In Janungwa, where I'm from, I've seen, from nothing to, where God has blessed us where we are now, so I can actually feel the grievances of the people. We just want a better Ghana, man. Like, if people like myself, or people who are even much more, than myself are complaining, I can't imagine what my people back home are, how they're feeling. So, from all our grievances and whatever they've promised in their manifestos whatsoever, we hope
should get it done.
We hope and we pray that, at the end of the day, we put Ghana first. And it's not like personal gains, Yeah.
Lovely. Did you vote this year?
I wasn't here.
You were not here.
Yeah,
so
but I learned. I put my voice to him. Now I tell him to go vote. No go sit out and say your one vote no dey matter.
Yeah,
it change plenty things.
Maybe
right now, as you say, they recount some things. They go say, oh, the only 9 or
maybe
10
your own day more. Like we no go recount it.
No be everywhere, but also no be maybe that jinkwa.
That's crazy, bro. Let's cast our minds back to a couple years ago. You had an experience. I don't think you personally spoke about it, but you had a challenge with one of the embassies. They had delayed your travel document. You had a show in one of the countries. You had to go through a lot. I personally witnessed how you had to stress through different people to get your travel document just to go and perform and come back. Do you think something must be done? Do you think we need some form of representation and intervention in traveling out as creatives? Do you think we should get to a point where, because I don't think politicians have to go through that when they have to travel. I stand on business when I say that. They always have some level of protocol when it comes to these things. Don't you think it's about time as an industry to have our creators and creatives, have some form of protocol when it comes to accessing these things? Don't you personally think we need something like that?
Well, 100%.
Okay.
I know a lot of times some creative have asked for like a special passport or a special pass because we actually representing the country, as ambassadors unofficially to the rest of the world. So it will help people more smoother. But I think some time ago, a couple years ago, the American embassy actually had a whole meeting with
I think
the creative industry.
They were going to do Thursdays or something.
For at least something like that. Just the initiative to make sure that.
Does it still work?
I had a visa for a long time, so I don't know if it still works. But I think it does. I think it's still Thursday for creatives, and if most of these embassies can learn from that, so it'll be great. But for me personally, I do have a good relationship with most of the embassies as well. So,
but generally
if it's for everybody else, you understand where when it's very urgent, at least something can be done about it.
Have you had to miss shows because certain embassies have delayed your
I have before.
beyond that one?
I have before actually, not in a while, but I have before.
You have before.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we just stand on that and hope for the best. Promise is lending his voice appeal to the government to put some form of intervention into ensuring that things are fast tracked for us so we can go and represent the country. Charlie, we look forward to a beautiful show on the 30th. Since you won't tell us who and who are coming, it's fine. We're good. And we'll find out anyways. But we'll see you. Wish you the very best. When are we getting another album? Whenever he comes, he promises us an album and then he delivers. When are we getting the next one? Can promise. Can you promise us?
I just dropped the deluxe, so make one I listen to that one's small for now.
Okay.
And I'm a project person. I like to put albums together. I like a body of work, not just like a single or whatever. So eventually, yes, there's gonna be an.
I almost forgot one thing I wanted to ask you. Since it's December, there's this craze and conversation about Dirty December shifting from Ghana to Nigeria. Do you also believe Ghana has lost it?
It's still early days. It's only 24th. Bro.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But there's still a lot of things that are happening. I feel like it's always like that when people try to go somewhere first before they come to Ghana.
Okay. So you think they're just going to chill in Nigeria? They will come here after because maybe we had our elections?
Personally, most of my friends be like, "Oh, we're going to go to Lagos for a while and then we'll come to Accra." So we'll see how that goes. But so far, they have like a lot of shows going on, and a lot of you can see on the internet that if they say that they beat us, but I feel like it's still early. Yeah,
there might just be a shift.
It's just December, bro. I don't even. For me, the way people think things very differently, I don't. You understand? Like America they chop down, Europe they chop down.
So you say that
when
is
Ghana,
whether Nigeria or Ghana.
yeah, bro.
Ghana doesn't own December. Eh?
I mean, Ghana is Ghana, man. People will forever love us for who we are,
Yeah.
how hospitable we are, how calm, how our food is great, how our nightlife is good. I don't think that will ever change. You know what I mean? But I think that maybe even because of the elections, a lot of things just slow down. Might be like one of the main reasons. But hey, if you say we lose, we go bounce back.
It's you don't ever think it's an issue with standards with how we treated our Decembers, you know? It's never a thing like this.
I think we've had pretty good Decembers in the past few years. I'm not gonna lie. Like everyone came here, understand? So what will other people also say who haven't experienced it the way we have? You know? So yeah, I think eventually we'll see. I mean, it's still not over. So we will see each other.
Some more days, about 6 days more. So let's see how it goes. That's Kim Promises Hope for this December. 3 after 12. Thank you so much, Kim Promise, for coming through. As always, love. We'll see you on the 30th, all right? 3 after 12, Y107.9. My name is Rev. Before we go, on the 26th of December, stop whatever you're doing and come through and enjoy live music. We see Arthur Ghana's music icon is delivering an exclusive.
YTV, yearn for more.